If you're confused about calories in versus calories out, this is gonna be the easiest, simplest explanation ever. My name is Kyle Settles, and hey, welcome to the video. This video, I wanna talk about calories in and calories out and really simplify everything for you, okay? I help people lose weight and keep it off forever by just getting to the basics and the fundamentals of energy in versus energy out, okay? Not overcomplicating things and speaking to the truth, okay? No more lies. Okay, listen guys, hey, for a little bit of context, at one point in my life, I was 100 pounds overweight. I have tried every diet, every fat burner, every path, and listen guys, it sucks not knowing and losing a little bit of weight, gaining it back faster, losing a little bit. It sucks to be in the cycle. But listen, we weren't taught these things when we were in school. We weren't. Right? We weren't taught food labels and macros and calories and how we burn calories and all this good stuff. So hopefully in this video I can help you out, okay? So pay attention and let's do this, okay? So first let's talk about calories in, okay? And most people know that, hey, calories come from what? The food that we eat and the liquids that we drink, right? Let's leave water out of it. But there's calories in everything. The mints, the gum, the candies that we eat, the sauces that we use, the dressings, right? All the foods, all the drinks, guys. But the problem is we don't know how much calories we're actually consuming. We're guessing. We're doing things blindly. Then we're not getting the result. We have body fat on us, right? This is just body fat. We have body fat on us and we don't know, we don't understand because we weren't taught these things in school. So we're either sold lies, we starve ourselves, or we go down these crazy paths. We take shots, we do all of these crazy things, and it never works. It's not sustainable, it's not realistic because we're passing the understanding. We're skipping the understanding of things, okay? And I wanna keep things simple, and hopefully I can just like open your eyes just a little bit, okay? So stay with me, and let's go into this. So, big piece is nobody's tracking, right? Nobody's tracking. Nobody has gone through the process of tracking their calories using MyFitnessPal, or they'll track for a couple days and they'll give up, right? And usually they give up because they don't want to be that person that's obsessing over calories. They don't want to be that they're listening to their environment or what society has said. Listen, you only get good at something through repetition. I can only build muscle through repetition of doing bicep curls and being consistent, right? I can only get good at anything through repetition, but we somehow will listen to other people when they say don't be obsessive over your food. Guys, you eat food every day. We should understand food, and I didn't understand food for the longest time, okay? But we are becoming what we eat, and if we don't understand what we eat, we're always gonna be in a place of not knowing. So we gotta stop listening to the people around you, and you gotta put walls up around your mind, guys, because you are becoming what you think about, and you are becoming the food that you eat. Literally, your cells are becoming the food. So stop saying you're obsessed. It's not. You're just making it a priority to go through the process of understanding the solids and liquids that you're eating, guys. And listen, the foods that we eat are made up of protein, carbs, and fats, okay? Protein, we need a certain amount of protein per day to maintain muscle, repair muscle, right? Hair, skin, nails. We need carbs for energy. Our body prefers carbs for energy, but most people are scared of carbs because they don't know. I actually just made a video on carbs. Make sure you guys check it out. And we need fats, think more for more hormones, okay? But listen, guys, if you want to know more about macros, grab the link down below. There's a course, a free course. It's got like 12 videos. It's actually pretty freaking awesome. Grab it right now. And on your downtime, take a look at it, guys. But in protein and carbs, there's 4 calories per 1 gram, right? And fats, butters, nuts, oils, they're more dense, right? So it's very easy to eat a lot of calories if you're eating a lot of nuts, cheese, oils, those type of foods, guys. There's 9 calories per 1 gram, okay? But if you're eating 2,000, if your budget is 2,000 calories per day, and again, when I say budget, your metabolism, where you're at, like how many calories you should be eating a day to maintain you, right? Let's say hypothetical, it's 2,000 calories, okay? That is your budget, okay? The food that you're eating is made up of protein, carbs, and fats. But if you go over 2,000 calories, right? You're going to gain body fat and the energy has to go somewhere, right? This is just body fat. It's excess energy and your body stores it for energy later. the spillover, right, the excess calories have to go somewhere, guys. So it's important to know how many calories you should roughly be eating per day, or how many calories you should be eating to lose weight. And again, I teach you guys all this in my course. But my point is, all the foods that you are eating, the protein, carbs, and fats, are making up the calories, right? So think about the protein bars, think about the eggs, think about the fast food that you're eating, think about all these things, right? They're made up of protein, carbs, and fats. But as soon as we go over our budget, we're going to store the body fat as, we're going to store the energy for later as body fat. And the point is, most people don't know how many calories they're eating because they've never tracked, they've never gone through the process, and the people around them are usually the ones that are talking shit, the ones that are talking smack and saying, don't be one of those people. Guys, you are becoming what you eat. It is important, right? When I was 100 pounds overweight, guys, it affects your self-image, it affects your belief, your confidence, the clothes, like everything. It affects everything, guys. So take care of yourself and understand that you can do this, you can lose the weight, but stop skipping the process, okay? So hopefully you guys are tracking so far. So calories in is pretty simple, right? It's just the energy, how much gas are you dumping into your vehicle every single day? But most people don't know because they're not tracking, they're just guessing, and then they're blaming it on metabolism or their work or some kind of excuse, right? I did that too, I get it. Now, calories out. How do we burn calories? And again, I explain all of this in the video, but we're gonna go over this real quick, okay? So BMR is the first how we burn calories. Basal metabolic rate, that's how much muscle do you have and how much activity, right, do you do in a day, right? How big is your engine, right? Your basal metabolic rate, keeping things simple, how many calories do you need to keep your lights on, right? If you were to not do anything all day, how many calories do you need to just like stay alive, okay? And everyone's different depending on how big you are. Are you a female? Are you a male? Do you have a lot of muscle or not? Next is, let's talk about NEAT, non-exercise activity. This is one of the biggest ways we burn calories. Up to 55% of your total calorie burn comes from NEAT. That just simply means all of the activity outside of your workout. So if you work out all the so think about, do you move a lot, right? Do you have a construction job, or are you a waitress? Like, do you move a lot? Do you do a lot of steps? Do you go on a lot of walks? You guys get what I'm saying, right? Most people don't move very much, right, throughout the day. Most people have a sedentary job and aren't doing much walking. But if we can just increase our steps and go for walks, that makes a massive difference, guys. So NEAT, non-exercise activity. Next is TEF, thermogenic effect of food. We burn calories, right, when we eat food, protein, carbs, and fats, right? Because protein, carbs, and fats make up our food. So you're eating protein, carbs, and fats, macros, every single day, okay? But it takes energy to digest and break down the food that we're eating. And the more protein that you eat, the more calories you burn. Protein has a 30% metabolic increase, right? So for example, if you eat 100 calories of chicken, you're only getting about 70 calories because it takes 30 calories to break down the chicken, digest and store as energy, or to repair muscle, right? Now carbs and fats, you only get about a 5% metabolic increase. So when you're eating avocados and nuts and oils, or carbs, right? When you're eating cereals and rices and potatoes, it only takes about 5%. So you're getting about 95 calories out of the 100 calories. It doesn't take that, there's not that much of a thermogenic effect, okay? So protein is a huge way to not only keep you full, satisfied, satiated, but to burn more calories, especially if you're consistent, guys. And then the last one is gonna be EA, okay? Exercise activity, right? Your designated time to work out. You're burning a certain amount of calories. It doesn't matter the number, but you're burning a certain amount of calories. These are the 4 ways that we burn calories, okay? These are the 4 levers that we can pull on. But we first gotta start to understand protein, carbs, and fats. Guys, grab my course, and we gotta track a little bit. You gotta stop guessing. Even if you were to work with me or any coach, right? I can't be guessing how much calories you're consuming, right? I need to know like how much activity you're doing, and I need to know through trial and error, like, hey, how many calories are you actually eating so-and-so, right? You have to, right? Think about it, the money too, right? You don't just spend money freely. You know how much money you're spending. You should know how many calories you are spending, okay? So guys, this is so important. And one more thing before we leave this video is, say hypothetically you walk a couple times a week, you work out a couple times a week, and you're a male that's 170 pounds, and your goal is to lose weight. We're just throwing out numbers. Let's just keep it simple. Your budget right now for maintenance to not gain weight or lose weight is 2,000 calories, right? On average, every single day, you say the same, right? 2,000 calories you've been tracking. And guys, when we want to lose weight, it's very simple, right? And say your goal is to lose 10 pounds, or say your goal is to lose whatever. We need to make sure that we're eating in a calorie deficit. So hypothetical, this is just imaginary numbers. I would put you in a deficit of 300 to 500 calories, okay? If we knew that this was your maintenance, okay? So we would go from 2,000 calories to 1,600 calories. Or we could keep your calories at 2,000 and we could increase your activity, right? We could also increase your protein. We could also increase your steps. We can play with these levers and be consistent so that we create a deficit. Because all we have to do is create a calorie deficit if your maintenance is 2,000 calories. Whatever you're doing over here, we just do a little bit more of, or we don't touch your activity at all, and we just simply lower your calories. We keep your protein roughly the same, and we lower your calories. But listen, guys, we can't do any of this stuff, right? We can't lose weight and keep it off forever until we start to understand the basics of food, right? Again, think about money. If you don't understand money and you go to the store, how do you spend money? Like, here's $20 or here's $10. No, they give you a price for something. Hey, this price is $16.30, and with tax, it's gonna be $17.50. You have a $20 bill because you have a budget. You can then spend the money and buy whatever you're wanting. It's the same thing with food, guys. You have a budget, but if you don't know your budget and you don't understand by tracking, like at least for a little while, what calories are in food, and you don't have to track for life, guys, but you have to go through a process just for a little while so that you can start to build the awareness and mindset around it. But then you know, when you have your budget, you now know how to make better choices, better decisions, okay? This is so important, guys, so important. So hopefully this makes sense. I'm gonna cut the video off there. If you guys have questions, you can see I get amped up because it's so important. And when you do start to lose weight, you can manipulate your body however you want. Again, this is just body fat. And now that I know, I can just control my food. It's very easy, but I can still eat the foods that I love, that I enjoy, and still lose the weight that I want, guys. So if you guys have any questions, comment below, hit the like button. If you're like, dude, this dude's crazy, still comment below. Ask me some questions. I will make videos tailored to what you guys are struggling with, guys, because I've been through it all. Over the last 15 years, like, I've helped thousands of people. I've built many, many gyms, and I've went through all the struggles of losing weight, of listening to everyone and being sold all the lies. But I had to go through the process of understanding and failing and understanding and failing and understanding. Now I have the knowledge and the experience and the wisdom to give to you guys, okay? So listen, comment below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.